I'm excited, hugely relieved. I was dreading the needed to give a speech. I've been dreading that for some time. I'm pleased. You don't do this kind of work for thanks, so thanks aren't expected. So it's an unexpected but very welcome surprise. So a great deal of pleasure. And because I'm with my peers, people that I know and respect in the room, it means all the more. When I first worked in Belfast Interface Project would have been the mid-90s, before the Good Friday Agreement. Our work then a lot of it was single identity work. We did a lot of facilitation of what we called first contact work, where people would have met each other for the first time across an interface, often because the subject that they needed to discuss, really pressingly needed to discuss, was ways of reducing violence at their local interfaces. Over the years, so a lot of our work was involved in that kind of early facilitation. We carried out some research work that indicated that interface communities had a lot of issues in common. And following that, we became a membership organisation. We now have a membership of approximately 50 or so unionist and community groups from both nationalist and unionist interface communities. The facilitation role that we used to largely carry out has now largely reduced as people are able to carry out those functions themselves, although occasionally it's still required. A lot of our work now is moving beyond that initial contact to helping to develop and embed new practices that work for local interface communities. For example, best practice in reducing violence through work with young people. We'd be involved in pushing forward those kinds of projects now. One of the things that I said in my talk was that I think we're at a key decision point in our peacemaking process. Our process has been propped up and supported from the outside for quite a number of years now, through external funding, including peace funding through SEUPB, International Fund for Ireland, the Atlantic Philanthropies Fund, and other large funders. Now we're at a point where those levels of funding, approximately 85% of funding for community relations work, those levels of funding are largely going away now. They're in their exit strategies or they're moving on to other parts of Europe. With the result now that the challenge within the peace building sector here is how to survive on approximately 15% of the funding that used to be available. And failing that, how to better negotiate with politicians and with those with influence in terms of how to better resource that work. And I think that's the challenge for us now. And until we get a resolution of that problem, we'll see a cull within the community sector. We're already seeing talented community relations workers who've been around for a long time. We're seeing them disappear. And we expect to see the same in terms of community groups and projects.